What's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tyler bringing you fundamental analysis on a fundamental basis. Today's article is brought to you by Routers. The dollar is near two-week high as Fed decision looms, and the Aussie falls. The dollar hovered close to a two-week high versus the euro on Wednesday, while the yen consolidated near the middle of its range this month as traders await crucial policy decisions from the nation's central banks this week. The Australian dollar slid after Bain inflation data suggested that the Reserve Bank of Australia would forego a rate hike next week. The US dollar index, which measures the currency against six major pairs, put its heavily weighted toward the euro, edged 0.06% higher to 101.37 in the Asian morning after pushing as high as 101.65 overnight for the first time since July 11. The euro slipped 0.16% to $1.1042, bringing it close to the previous session's low of $1.1036, a level last seen on July 12th. Continued signs of a resilient U.S. economy in the face of Federal Open Market Committee's steep series of interest rate increases has helped buoy the dollar index from a 15-month trough of 99.549 reached a week ago. In the latest data, the U.S. consumer confidence increased to a two-year high in July amid a persistent tight labor market and receding inflation. Money market traders see a quarter-point hike from the U.S. Federal Reserve on Wednesday as a near certainty, but a split on the odds of another later in the year, putting it at more or less a coin toss. Meanwhile, the European Central Bank sets policy on Thursday. Again, a quarter-point hike is widely expected, but building evidence of an economic slowdown has called into question the chances of another by year-end. Given the deceleration in underlying inflation, we think the risk is, said Fed Chair Jerome Powell, cools on another hike by describing the Fomc as data dependent, which would pressure the dollar, said Joseph Caporuso, a strategist at Commonwealth Bank of Australia. If the ECB retain their hawkish bias, by no means guaranteed but more likely than the FOMC, euro is likely to track higher this week. The Bank of Japan sets policy on Friday, and speculation for a hawkish tweak in the yield curve control, which had soared earlier in the month, has steadily receded over recent days. The dollar added 0.12% to 141.15 to the yen. USD JPY on Wednesday following a rebound from a multi-week low of 137.245 mid-month. The Australian dollar, the Aussie, slipped 0.63 to 67.50 after inflation slowed more than expected in June, suggesting less pressure for another hike in interest rates for the central bank on August 1st. The unwound most of the Aussie's 0.79 gain of the previous day after Beijing announced stimulus, lifting the economic outlook for Australia's key trading partner, just when it looked safe to get back in the water with Aussie longs on the China sentiment rebound. The downside surprise on inflation casts fresh doubt on the extent for further RBA tightening needed, said Sean Callow, a strategist at Westpac, predicting the currency would drop below 0.67 in the near term. There we have it, guys. The most important thing that they're saying in this article is that the ECB is going to raise interest rates, and the dollar, the Fed might as well raise interest rates. Today we have the Fed interest rate decision. I think the ECB will be on Thursday, and they say it's widely expected that they're going to raise by another quarter-point hike. There you have it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about it.